I'm Brandon Wong. This is Nightline, and these are your top stories. Sabah child hostage suspect shot dead, girl rescued. And police and customs unite to curb smuggling and tonto threats. Good morning. Sabah police suspect that the man who took a 2-year-old girl hostage at the Telipuk Uria flats in Kota Kinabalu was not mentally stable or may have consumed illegal substances prior to the incident. Sabah Police Commissioner Dato' Omar Mama said the man in his 30s was not a resident at the low-cost flats. Earlier, the hostage drama involving the 2-year-old girl that lasted almost 6 hours ended after police shot dead her captor. The man had taken the girl captive at knife point after entering a sundry shop on the 4th floor and whisked her to another unit on the same floor at about noon. It was learned that police shot the man at 5:35 p.m. after he refused to set the girl free despite being persuaded by them in the long standoff. Dato' Omar said the man had tried to throw the girl out from the 4th floor unit.
Dan terus meletakkan pisau di leher budak ni, menyebabkan leher budak ni mangsa ni luka lah. Dan tiba satu ketika suspek ni cuba membuang budak ni daripada tingkat 4. Dia cuba buang lah. Dan pada masa itu pihak polis telah bertindak dengan segera dan telah melepaskan beberapa das tembakan mengenai suspek, dan suspek telah meninggal di tempat kejadian.
Several shots were heard after the situation became tense, with a large crowd that had built up turning almost chaotic. Soon after the shooting, the girl was taken away in an ambulance. She was reported to have sustained cut wounds but was otherwise in good health. Dato' Omar said police had yet to establish the motive behind the hostage taking, adding that the man did not make any demands when police spoke to him. Meanwhile, a family member of the 2-year-old girl denied that revenge was the motive behind the incident. The girl's grandmother, Shamala Muhammad Akhir, said the suspect was not known to the family and she only learned that her granddaughter was abducted after there was a commotion in the area. The girl's aunt, Nur Fatiha Nasir, said when the incident happened, the child's mother was at home. She said the mother only realized what had happened after being notified by a neighbor that her daughter had been abducted and locked inside a neighbor's house. In Pulau Pinang, an 8-year-old boy was killed after he was trapped inside a container which caught fire in Kampung Jawa Bayan Lepas on Sunday. The charred remains of Muhammad Saifuddin Ali Subahan were found at 12:40 p.m. Firemen received the distress call about the blaze at 12:15 p.m. and arrived at the scene 5 minutes later and were able to put the fire under control within 20 minutes. The container, located in a playground along Jalan Bahagia, was used to store scrap. Based on initial investigation, the container was usually not locked and children often played inside it.
Saya duduk di rumah. Tu anak nombor 4 baru sebulan. Duduk dah di rumah, duduk jaga baby tu. Saya bini saya balik, dia kata anak saya terbakar. Dia kata saya duduk ingat terbakar sikit-sikit macam tu tak apa lah. Saya pun lari lah main tengok-tengok, tak boleh nak buat apa dah. Orang kampung duduk tolong, duduk joroi ayak tu tak boleh buat apa. Api besar gila, tak boleh buat apa dah. Memang dah saya main-main tu memang dah tak dengar bunyi apa. Saya ria kalau dia ada lagi memang dia bunyi dah. Saya tak anak saya. Tapi dah benda nak jadi, saya nak buatnya.
The boy was the 3rd child in the family. His brother was believed to have escaped the fire. An investigation into the cause of the blaze is underway. In Sabah, the charred body of a car driver was recovered in Kampung Janang, Kuala Penyu, Beaufort, after the car was involved in an accident early on Sunday. An initial probe found no foul play. The car was believed to have skidded before it went up in flames. The body was handed over to the police. Beaufort District Police Chief DSP Asbir Abdul Razak, when contacted, confirmed the incident. He said police were waiting for the victim's family members from Kota Kinabalu for further action. The Royal Malaysian Police have teamed up with the Customs Department in a bid to crack down on multiple crimes, including the smuggling of contraband cigarettes and drugs. Inspector General of Police Tan Sri Muhammad Fuzi Harun said the corporation, through newly formed 5 joint committees, will lead to more joint operations, including nabbing syndicate informants. Speaking at a press conference on Sunday after a meeting between the two departments, Tan Sri Muhammad Fuzi said, among other aspects of the cooperation would be to deal with Malaysian drug mules nabbed overseas.
Juga telah bagi jaminan untuk mengambil langkah-langkah proaktif berkaitan dengan ancaman toto yang banyak menjejaskan penugasan pihak Jabatan Kastam di Raja Malaysia. Jadi untuk tujuan ini kita dah tubuhkan 5 jawatankuasa, kalau tak silap Datuk Seri tadi, untuk kita bekerjasama secara langsung, secara direct melalui jawatankuasa yang ditubuhkan, dan kita telah melantik focal point di antara kedua-dua agensi ini untuk duduk semeja daripada semasa ke semasa agar penugasan kita lebih berkesan lagi di masa akan datang nanti, insya-Allah. Dan banyak isu juga kita telah persetujui.
Jabatan Kastam khususnya, ya, kita ada database di mana maklumatnya raw, ya. Contohnya pengimportan dan juga pengeksportan, ya. Siapa mengimport apa dan sebagainya. Tetapi sekarang kalau kita tengok dari segi ancaman-ancaman kepada negara, keselamatan negara, ya, bahan-bahan terlarang, khususnya kemudian dari segi keganasan, ya, trade based money laundering, ya, perkara ini sebenarnya memerlukan kerjasama yang rapat.
Datuk Sri Subramaniam added that police have also agreed to provide more security for customs officers manning the border checkpoints nationwide. He said the department will also step up operations against smuggling of illicit cigarettes and alcoholic beverages. The Malaysian Communications and Multimedia Commission, MCMC, is investigating an allegation by way of photographs on social media that Pakatan Harapan PH coalition party members have indulged in vote buying in Cameron Highlands. Deputy Communications and Multimedia Minister Eden Shazli Sith said the MCMC needed time for the probe, among others, to identify the holders of the social media accounts that initiated the viral images.
Kita sedang menyiasat berkenaan daripada sebab MCMC memerlukan masa untuk menapasi siapa pemegang akaun dan apa tujuan gambar-gambar yang sedemikian dipublishkan, ya, kepada umum. Tapi saya setakat ini secara lisan belum ada mana-mana pihak yang mengaku bertanggungjawab. Dalam keadaan sekarang ini cuma perkara-perkara isu-isu yang saya percaya mungkin juga bersifat spekulatif ataupun perkara-perkara yang kadang-kadang mungkin dia diperbesarkan ataupun dia ada-adakan, bukan seperti tafsiran sebenar apa yang berlaku di dalam gambar itu.
Photographs showing several people wearing shirts bearing the PH logo and allegedly distributing money to the constituents of Cameron Highlands went viral on social media on Sunday. Eden Shazli said vote buying went contrary to the principles of PH, which regards it as a dishonourable act. Voters in Cameron Highlands go to the polls on January the 26th in the by-election. Meanwhile, Pakatan Harapan has denied any vote buying for the coming Cameron Highlands by-election, as alleged in several photographs which went viral on social media. According to July PH Operations Centre Assistant Head Avrin Barrett, the photographs were of the PH officials reimbursing petrol expenses to volunteers who used their own motorcycles to travel from interior areas to Tanah Rata on the by-election nomination day. In a statement on Sunday, Arvind said the reimbursement was done according to the law and will be declared as part of the election expenses. After the breather, Pahang Sultan leaves it to Council of Rulers on next Agong selection. Welcome back. The Sultan of Pahang, Sultan Abdullah Ahmad Shah, is leaving it to the wisdom of the Council of Rulers, which will be meeting on January the 24th, to announce the candidate selected as the 16th Yang di-Pertuan Agong in the interest of the nation. Sultan Abdullah was commenting on the possibility of him being chosen as the next Yang di-Pertuan Agong after he was proclaimed as the 6th Sultan of Pahang on Saturday.
Ini saya tak dapat nak menyatakan lagi. Kalau sudah pun tercatik saya ke situlah saya. Dia ada surah. Dalam surah Yasin ni kan, ayat 82. Patut kita semua tengok ayat itu. Baru kita faham apa maksud saya. Saya berdoa supaya pilih yang terbaik. Tak kira proses mana sekalipun, berdoa supaya pilihan itu pilihan yang terbaik untuk negara. Tak kira siapa sekalipun.
Sultan Abdullah, however, declined to comment further on the matter as he wanted to focus on the proclamation ceremony as the Pahang ruler on January 15. He was met by the media after morning prayers at the Imam Shafi Mosque in Kota Sas in Indramakota, Kuantan on Sunday. He also shared his feelings after being informed on the appointment. Police have held a meeting with authorities in China in an effort to locate fugitive businessman Lau Tek Joe or Joe Lau in connection with the One Malaysia Development Berhad 1MDB scandal. Inspector General of Police Tan Sri Muhammad Fuzi Harun said police are also communicating with Interpol, but the most wanted person in Malaysia remains under the radar.
Tak ada apa new development, kita ada mesyuarat dengan pihak berkuasa China dan kita juga ada berhubung dengan pihak Interpol, tapi masih statusnya masih sama. Itu yang saya dapat laporkan.
He, however, declined to divulge details on the meeting. On Thursday, Prime Minister Tun Dr. Mahathir Mohamad said the government would continue its efforts to find the infamous businessman, although it is difficult. Joe Lau was believed to have escaped from detention in Hong Kong to an island near Macau.
Our approach is to fundamentally...
The Health Ministry has been urged to consider the implementation of the smoking ban at workplaces and closed areas in offices, especially toilets. National Institute for Occupational Safety and Health, NIOSH, Chairman Tan Sri Lee Lam Tai, however, said this matter should be thoroughly discussed between the ministry and the employers. He was speaking to reporters after flagging off My Jantungku Run 2019 runners at Kampung Sukan Air in Putrajaya. He said the actions of some smokers who smoke in the toilet could be detrimental to other people's health.
If they want to smoke, please go outside the building, but don't smoke inside the building, even in the toilet. Because for those who are non-smokers, when they go into a toilet, it's full of smoke and it takes some time for the smoke, to go off. It will be a very, very bad experiences for them and will certainly affect their health.
He said he himself had encountered such acts in the toilet and understood why some smokers had to resort to it, especially at work. Hence, he hopes both employers and the ministry can find ways to provide designated smoking areas for employees. A total of 23 areas are currently designated as no-smoking zones under the control of tobacco products regulations. These include entertainment centres, theatres, elevators, public toilets, air-conditioned eateries, public vehicles, airports, government premises and any area used for the purpose of assembly. The 9-month-old boy, who was in critical condition after allegedly being abused by his babysitter at a house in Sibu, Sarawak last Monday, succumbed to his injuries at the Sibu hospital on Sunday. Aris Haras Zahim Azman died in the arms of his mother, Hajijah Tahir, after he was taken off the life support machine at 11:30 a.m. The baby was certified brain dead by a medical team on Saturday. District Police Chief ACP Stanley Jonathan Ringgit said the parents had agreed to stop the life support machine after a second test showed no sign of improvement. Aris Haras, the youngest of 3 siblings, was reported to have suffered internal hemorrhage and skull fracture believed to have been caused by a hit against the hard surface or shaken forcibly. A 39-year-old suspect has been remanded until Monday to assist in investigation under Section 31, Subsection 1A of the Child Act 2001. In the federal capital, the body of a man believed to have been murdered was found under a bridge near Pasar Pudu off Jalan Yu on Sunday morning. Initial investigation showed that the victim, in his 30s, believed to be a foreigner, was found near rubbish piles, dressed in a grey shirt and blue jeans. A National Drug Agency assistant has been sentenced to 4 years imprisonment and fined 55,000 ringgit for 4 counts of making false claims worth 8,000 ringgit 4 years ago. Muhammad Fatihah Putra Hamza pleaded guilty to the charges read before Judge Kamarudin Kamsun at the Johor Bahru Sessions Court on Sunday. Police in Kelantan confiscated 4,040 yaba pills or horse pills believed to be valued at 80,000 ringgit in a raid in Pasir Mas last Friday. 487 kilograms of ketum leaves worth about 14,600 ringgit were also seized. Two men aged 28 and 29 were nabbed after police gave chase while the duo were trying to flee. Sabah Marine Police on Saturday arrested a local man for trying to smuggle out 25 liquefied petroleum gas (LPG) tanks to the Philippines through the waters off Semporna in Sabah. The gas tanks worth more than 15,000 ringgit have also been confiscated. The 25-year-old suspect was nabbed at 12:50 p.m. as he was using a pump boat and acting suspiciously. Humanitarian organization Syria Care aims to raise a total of 500,000 ringgit to assist victims at the refugee camps in snowstorm-stricken Arsal, Lebanon. The Arsal Camp's Emergency Aid Fund is aimed at providing assistance to over 50,000 refugees who are in dire need of food, shelter and other essentials. Refugees have been struggling with dangerous conditions including flooding and heavy snow since last Sunday when Storm Norma hit, bringing strong winds, rain and colder temperatures across the country. Syria Care, which has embarked on a winter humanitarian mission, hopes to provide assistance in the forms of diesel supply, carpets and blankets. Weather forecast showed that temperature dropped to negative 10 degrees Celsius in Arsal yesterday.
500,000 tu mungkin besar bagi kita, tetapi apabila kita nak tukarkan dengan USD dan kita nak memberi keperluan mereka, ianya tidak menjadi terlalu besar. Keperluan satu keluarga untuk sepanjang hari mereka memerlukan dalam 20 liter diesel. Ya, 20 liter diesel ni kalau di kawasan lain boleh bertahan untuk seminggu, tetapi di Arsal hanya untuk satu hari dan itu saja sudah menelan kos lebih kurang dalam 14 USD. Itu baru satu rumah. Jadi angka mereka terlalu ramai. Kami mungkin tidak dapat menyantuni ke semua 170,000 orang yang berada di sana. Kita fokuskan dulu untuk kali ini untuk menyantuni 1,000 keluarga di sana.
She was met at the KL International Airport in Sepang, Selangor before departing for Beirut, Lebanon on Sunday. 5 Syria Care volunteers and 2 media personnel took part in the mission, which saw them depart on the Turkish airline flight at 9:30 a.m. local time. Those who wish to contribute may do so to Syria Care's bank account as shown on your screen, or log on to its website for more information. When we return, over 20 killed in China's latest mine accident. We move on to the foreign news. In China, all 21 miners trapped underground in a coal mine in Shanxi province after a roof collapse have been confirmed dead on Sunday. According to authorities, the accident took place at around 4:30 p.m. local time on Saturday at the Li Jiakao coal mine of Baiji Mining Co. Limited, a privately owned company founded in 2003 in the city of Shenmu. At the time of the collapse, 87 people were working underground. 66 of them were brought to safety after the accident. An investigation into the cause of the incident is underway. A snowstorm since Friday has killed 5 people in the Midwest of the United States. The snow blanketed many parts of Missouri and Kansas and other states in the central U.S., disrupting local traffic and power supply. It rapidly started to sweep many states in the northern and eastern parts of the country. St. Louis and Columbia were hit by one of the largest snowstorms in recent years. Total snow accumulations in Columbia on Friday reached 26 centimeters, a record high in terms of a single-day snowfall in over the past 100 years. The snowstorm had caused more than 700 traffic accidents, which killed 5 and injured 48. 2 major airports in Chicago saw widespread flight delays due to weather conditions. The snow is expected to continue through Sunday. Chinese emergency rescuers are joining hands with technicians from South Korea on Sunday afternoon to look into a leakage accident over Korean liquefied petroleum gas (LPG) tanker in a sea area near Dongying Port in East China's Shandong province. The LPG tanker was taken to anchorage at the Chinese port on Friday after departing from South Korea. It was carrying 1,850 tons of LPG, with 15 crew members on board when the leakage happened at around 10:30 Saturday. The ship has been moved further off the coast, and the ships nearby have been warned to stay at least 3 nautical miles away. The local government acted immediately after receiving an accident report and has been monitoring the environment around the area. So far, the 15 crew members are in stable condition. Rescuers and technicians from both countries will conduct joint repairing to the vessel. More to come on Nightline. Chayawad Batani claims victory in tennis under-16 singles. Details next. Sports tennis. Burmese tennis player Chayawad Batani redeemed his disappointment after emerging as champion in the 16-year singles category in the first leg of the Youth Tour circuit at the National Tennis Centre on Sunday. Chayawad, who earlier only emerged as runner-up in the doubles match, was however energetic when he trounced Sabah player Ryan Chi 6-0 and 6-0. As the top player for the 16-year category, Chayawad also received an incentive from the Lawn Tennis Association of Malaysia to go to the Australian Open Grand Slam Championship. The second series of the Junior Tour circuit would be continued in Negeri Sembilan on January the 30th until February the 2nd. The Junior Tour circuit involved 8 rounds, which would end with the Masters Tennis Championship in November. And on to cycling. Caleb Ewan of Australia delighted the home crowd when he held off a challenge from defending champion Peter Sagan of Slovakia to win the Tour Down Under Classic for the 3rd time in Adelaide on Sunday, after both riders avoided a mass pileup 500 metres from the finish of the hour-long criterium around Adelaide's Rymel Park. Ewan, riding for his new team Lotto Soudal, outsprinted Sagan of Bora Hans Grohe of the Tour take victory, with Australian Alexander Edmondson back in 3rd. The race was a preliminary to the 6-day Tour Down Under, which begins on Tuesday. Ever want to vent out your anger by smashing something, but was prohibited from doing so? Now you can. Equipped with bats and hammers, locals in Beijing are letting out their frustration at the city's first anger room by smashing objects ranging from old appliances to glass bottles. Take a look as we wrap up Nightline this time around. I'm Brandon Wong. Thanks for tuning in and have a productive week ahead.